Alright, welcome to Monocast. This is episode 4. I'm Nodge.
3.
Fuck.
This is episode 3.
Fuck.
God damn it, Nodge!
Fuck. Starting over, welcome to Monocast. This is episode 3. I'm Nodge and... Wait, who are you?
I'm Nira.
Right.
How do you not know this? I mean, seriously, we've been friends since the first grade.
Well, to be honest, your name is kind of fucked up. But, since you're talking about first grade, do you remember the shitty music that the gym teachers used to play back then?
Oh my fucking god.
No,
Yes.
I'm remembering it now. It was all those shitty 80s workout videos that,
God. I had a teacher, and we would do laps at the beginning of every class. And every single time, the song would be YMCA.
Every day. Every day we had
Every
gym.
single time.
They had to play it at least once. It was like a package deal. If you had gym class, you listened to YMCA.
Yeah, and the thing was that was really funny is about that time, people started realizing YMCA is sort of like, it has like homosexual undertones to it.
Which, it doesn't really matter too much. But like back in the day, I'm surprised it, slipped under the radar.
I mean, this was like, what, like 2001?
Yeah, about when we were in, when we were in elementary school around 2001. And the gym teachers are always playing that. But like, nobody really thought about it. Because it's like, oh, this is a workout song for, a gym.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think one of the coolest things was that I had one really awesome substitute who brought in his own music. He knew what he was doing, and he actually brought in Nirvana.
Oh, baby.
Oh, it was awesome. We did, like, sit-ups and all that to Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it was freaking amazing.
And it didn't. It smelled like...
It smelled like sweaty people in armpits.
Well, it smelled like sweaty little children, so it's like all that nasty stuff that
I mean, it didn't even have the decency to be like a really bad BO. It just was sweat. And, like, just raw sweat is such an unpleasant smell, you just can't get used to it.
It was back, like, when people used to get all sweaty, you didn't really complain about it. It was just like, oh, damn, it kind of smells a little bit, but it, whatever.
But, like, when you're in high school and you're doing, PE, if you smell somebody who smells that bad, you're like, hey, what the fuck?
Well, it's like, I remember a lot of us, myself included, had swamp ass, and if it got really bad, they got, sweat dripping down their leg a little bit, and it smells like, the inside of an asshole.
Oh, so speaking of, like, swamp ass, like, in the literal sense, I had a friend who he ran a marathon after, living on a mountain for a little while. This was for, like, a CIT training. They wanted it pretty extreme. So he started running, and the problem was that he had given himself cholera while he was on the mountain, or dysentery or something. Yeah, no, seriously. So he's running, and he's in shorts, and he's eaten nothing but, like, undercooked food that he had no ways to wash his hand for, like, 3 days. So he's running, and he starts shitting himself while he's running. And, like, he's screaming. He's like, oh my god! Because it was about at that point that he also realized, he decided, stupidly, to tan on a snow-peaked mountain. So it felt cold and he never felt his skin tan, but he gave himself third-degree burns.
Jesus Christ.
So he's running and he gets back to the showers afterwards, and, like, half the other guys have shit themselves too. So they're all showering and it just smells like shit. And then one of the guys is like, what the fuck is that all over your body? And I swear to God, I saw a picture of this. It looked like he had gigantic smallpox. But, like, seriously. Like,
shit.
You ever seen third-degree sunburn before?
No, I haven't.
It's fucking insane.
I usually don't associate with the sort that leaves themselves out there for that long, but...
Yeah, well, anyway, so as we promised in the hiatus status video, we're going to allow about a minute for Yarb to introduce himself now, and, this time. He's told us we were a bit of a bitch for cutting him off about 5-10 times at the end of the last video, so we're gonna just be silent for a bit and let him do his thing. So, Yarb, we're passing it over to you.
Hi, I'm Yarb. Funny name, I know. It's kind of a screw-up on that one. My dad thought it'd be a sick practical joke when I was a baby to change my name from Barry to Yarb. My mom got pissed with him after she found out 10 years later.
Alright, you've stayed your hour. Fuck off.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to our story. So yeah, he shit himself and then had massive amounts of smallpox blisters.
That's fucking perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was like 20-something. But, I guess he didn't know what sun could do to you. So, Alright, so other things that are shit about school, like, this is just a minor one, but, like, staying in for recess was at the same time the best and the worst thing. Like, when it's raining, you get to play with all the board games, or, those little, pattern blocks. Those were freaking awesome. You ever build, like, a spaceship with those things?
I did, actually.
All the freaking time?
All the frickin' time.
All the freaking time. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, it sucks because you don't get to see your friends from other classes. At our elementary school, we actually went out by grades in groups of 2. So it would be first grade with second grade, and then it would be third with fourth, and fifth with sixth. And kindergarten, I think, had a section to themselves, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Like, they would cut off the playground halfway for, like, some of the smaller, things like the slides and stuff like that. Like, they had an area with a smaller swing set, and they could play over there. And we actually weren't allowed to go over there. There were a few exceptions, like if they were siblings or something, and you could just go and hang out.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they were, like, very strict. You have to stay on your side of the playground.
Yeah. And there was one time I was out, and I don't remember exactly what had happened, but our playground was about 50% pebbles, just like those track building pebbles that can be kicked around and all that, and no one really cares because they can be reset so easily. And it's softer than pavement, so if you fall over, it's not that bad. And then the other half was just field. Flat field, a couple of trees, a gigantic rock. But it was, just field. And there was one day, and I can't remember why, but we weren't allowed to go onto the field at all. Like, at all. And, we had a wall on the playground. It was, a fence. It was a railing, basically. And if you did something wrong, like you hit somebody, you'd go and stand on the wall for most of recess. But the thing was that I was hanging out with a friend, and it was a bit of a hot, sunny day, so I remember. So we decided, well, let's go under a tree, and, trees don't grow in pebbles, so we went over into the field to get some shade, and were put on the wall. I mean, that's bull.
Oh, so you guys were, put on the Trump wall there.
Well, this was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, where all the Mexicans knew their place.
Yeah, but the Trump wall transcends time.
Oh my god, what?
It transcends time. He's going to build a wall, but not only is it going to be from when he builds the wall onward, forward in time, it goes all through time. The first settlers here, like the first people that were here, the Native Americans, are going to see this. Like, it's just going to be something that's always there, sent from the gods, okay?
What?
And they're not going to know, like, it was just there, like a mountain.
So what I'm getting from this is you just did a whole bunch of peyote while we were giving Yarb his chance to talk, didn't you?
Well, I had to feel better. I took my medicine.
Dr. Feelgood. So yeah, then there was, like, lunch. Remember how chaotic lunch was? Like, it was never, ever below, like, 150 decibels.
Well, the thing about lunch, for us at least, at my school, was there would be limited supply, and you could get seconds, but there was a little bit of a war for it, because you'd have to raise your hand, and they'd randomly select you. It's like, we have, like, 3 more servings here, who wants seconds? You raise your hand, and then everybody wanted to kill each other by the end of lunch. The people that got seconds were pretty much on everybody's hit list. They got the dirty looks.
Well, at my school, we would have, everyone got their own meal, they counted it out. Sometimes there'd be seconds, but not very often. And especially because only the 5th and 6th graders really had the opportunity to get seconds, because we, again, had groups of 2 grades at a time going, with kindergarten having their own grade. But, milk would be a thing and all that. Salad bar. There were bananas at the salad bar for some reason, and, like, all the time, these dickhead kids would just throw banana peels at people. So, there was another thing, that, like, on the bottom of those tacky-ass blue trays that the schools give out, with all those sections, department and all that, is, there were, like, 5 trays in, like, the 800 of them that there were, that had X's on the bottom.
We had that.
And for the longest time, if you ever had the X on the bottom of your tray, you got to go up and get a treat. Like, there was one time that they were giving away, like, cosmic brownies, and there was another time that they were doing, like, dealy boppers, you know those? Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but after a while, they just stopped doing it. Like, probably because, it probably wasn't healthy for 5-year-olds to be eating cosmic brownies with a full meal.
They only did that for like a few years in my school.
Yeah.
Except a lot of the times it was just toys. I don't think they actually gave us snacks. Like I got a SpongeBob toy out of it one time.
Yeah, like there was one girl who won like 6 times, and I have no idea how. Like she defied all odds and won like 6 times, and like that was when they were giving out like ding dongs and coffee cakes and all that. And I think she got a devil dog once. But then one of her friends actually won once, and I'm starting to think, somebody's blowing the principal. And she ended up getting just dealy boppers. Like it went all of a sudden from cosmic cakes to dealy boppers. Did you ever have good for yous?
No, we did not.
You know what they are?
No idea.
All right, so what they were was at my school, you would get a slip of paper every time you did something exceedingly good.
Okay, no, we did have that.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, at the end of the year, there'd be an assembly, and all of the good for yous that you've had were put in and drawn. And if you got drawn, you got to go down and get something from like this huge rack, and there would be bicycles and games, and I think one year they had like a Harry Potter Whomping Willow game.
Yeah.
And I really wanted that. But the thing was that I was at that school for about 5 years, and they don't allow kindergartners to participate in the Good For You thing because they're a bit too young.
Fuck the kindergartners.
Yeah, kindergartners got their own recess and all that, and we got Good For Yous. So the thing was that every single year, barring none, I would be picked about 3/4 of the way through the year, like through the assembly, and I would always get something good, but not that good. Like, I remember I got, like a Tamagotchi one year, and I got, a gigantic dodgeball, like, about 3 feet across, and it looked like a rectal thermometer. I never figured out what it was.
A rectal thermometer?
Well, it was like Hulk brand, so I have no idea what it was, but it looked, like, looking back at it from, like, a cynical old person way, it looked like a rectal thermometer.
No, you know how doctors' offices sometimes have, like, Marvel characters, like, on some of their tools? Like, they'll have, like, little kid things to make it feel, like, welcoming to you. And they just shove, like, the Hulk, like, in a rectal thermometer, like in the old days. It's like, Hulk smash.
Your ass. Did you ever have to use a rectal thermometer as a kid?
No, actually. I only used like one of the mouth ones, but it had kind of died out by the time like we were little.
Did it like have one of the tabs, or was it like one of the mercury ones that?
It wasn't mercury. It was one like the ones that had the red stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's mercury.
Yeah. Well, it might have been. It very well could have been.
Yeah.
But in elementary school, like the nurse's office, they had the nice like tab ones.
Yeah, they had like the strips that you put under your tongue.
Yeah.
Well, for my family, we had an ear thermometer, which was always off. Like, quite often it said I was in rigor mortis. I think one time it said it was 89 degrees. So that was really strange.
Yeah, we used that. We used to use the ear one, and I thought it was really weird because we had like this cap on it to protect it from germs and earwax on it, and it would always crinkle in there, but it would be really loud and it would beep.
Yeah.
And now we have a forehead scanner, and it's like...
Yeah, well, those are really cool. I've never used one of those. But, our one, they had, like, the individual disposable tabs for them, and my dad's a bit of a cheapskate. So after a while, he just got us a bunch of those, like, no Ziploc, bags. They were just, like, the normal sandwich bags that fold over and stick to themselves. And he just said, use that. So you have to, put the bag on it, get it to a corner, then press down on the red thing that detects if it has one of the disposable ear tabs on it and put it in your ear. Which, probably skewed the results a bit more. But, like, at school, those little tab things, weren't those, like, the most nervous 30 seconds of your life?
Yeah, but it was also really uncomfortable. Like, they were hard and, like, they press in a weird way on your
they had,
mouth.
like, sharp angles, like, sharp corners to them, too. But the thing was, it made me the most nervous because I don't like school. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like school at all. I can't focus for homework. I do fairly good in lectures and oral reports and all that, but I can't do homework. It just sucks. So, quite often when I was a kid, I would get sick and I would throw up. But, I'm a bit of a clean freak, so I would always flush it, and I would always forget to show somebody it. So I'd go to the nurse and be like, I threw up. And they'd give me one of the tabs, and it was the most tense 30 seconds of my life, because it meant the difference between going home and relaxing while I'm sick, or being called a liar. And the biggest problem with that is, I don't get fevers, like, ever. I had a flu, and I was still running a normal temperature. And I've had strep, and I was still running a normal temperature. Like, I don't get fevers.
I remember a lot of times I used to get headaches very early on. Like, I remember third grade, it started to get really bad. Some of them, I would call those migraines. Because they got really bad sometimes, and I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to drop dead.
Were they, like, regional?
Yeah, mostly they were, like, middle to the temple, pretty much, like, all in the front.
Yeah, sort of like where the third eye would be,
Yeah. But yeah, I used to go into the nurse for that, because, like, I wanted to just die at that point. And, I found out, like, after a while, it's like, hey, they let me take naps in here. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna play this out. I actually ended up going in there for more headaches than I had.
Yeah, I did the same thing in, like, high school when they started being asses about me throwing up so often, because I was missing school. I probably went to, like, 80% of the days that there were freshman year. So, after a while, I just got wise to it and said, like, I need to lay down. So I would just go into the dark room and I'd sleep for about an hour and just skip a class, basically. It was like school-mandated class skipping. It was awesome.
They had that? A school-mandated class skipping.
Well, that's how I viewed it, sort of, like, he's at the nurse, what are you going to do? And they can't do anything about it. Like, not even the principal could do anything about it, because it's like, it's that or he has a migraine or pukes everywhere, so just give him a clean room, let him lay down.
Yeah.
But the thing was, after a while when I was in there, I would always get, like, paranoid about how much time I was spending in there, and I just could not sleep. I couldn't relax.
Yeah.
I got tense.
Well, the thing is, like, I remember she'd be like, lay down for a few minutes. And I was always dreading the moment when she'd come back and say, okay, you should try, are you feeling okay? And I would say yes, because I was always afraid that if I said no, she'd know I was bullshitting her.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's like a little boy who cried wolf. I was actually having some pretty serious migraines most of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't want to push it, so I just ended up going back to class. But it was nice to have the break most of the time.
Oh, definitely. I mean, some of the thing was, if I made it through my first class in high school, I'd make it through the day. But if I felt like shit during that first class, I'd probably go home. And I couldn't drive myself, so I always had to convince my mom, like, I'm sick, I need to go home. And, it would always be that first class. It would either be Latin or biology or something like that. And I actually puked a lot in biology, like, in the room.
Do you remember, we used to have algebra together freshman year. I think we did with Mr. Hill.
Yeah, Algebra 2, yeah.
Yeah. And, do you remember how,
we would do terrible at that.
Well, the thing is, like, everybody was a dick to that teacher.
Yeah, I mean, like, when he asked for variable numbers, everyone just said 69.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, like, he got really sick of that. Like, he used to say, okay, that's not appropriate, and then he just finally just sighed and was like, you know what, screw it, I'm done with this
Yeah, I mean, like,
shit.
he just gave up.
I'm pretty sure we're the reason he left the school.
And the thing was that I actually think he's still around there.
He helps out with, like, music stuff, probably, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's...
Yeah, I don't think he's a math teacher anymore.
We saw him in Walmart today, actually. He walked
Did
out of
we?
the... Yeah, well, I saw him. I don't know if you saw him, but he was walking out. He had a cart. I was like, holy shit. And,
yeah, I mean, he
I
looks
didn't
like...
want to say hi, because he
Yeah.
looked like he was, kind of in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, the thing was that Naj and I would always have a hard time on the tests. Like, we could do the math at home, and we could do it in class. It just took us a bit of time, but for some reason, we always did terribly on the quizzes. So we would stay after school quite often to just, do them again, and just retake them and do them right. Because in a low-pressure environment where we have a little bit more assistance, it's easy. But that was actually the time that you got me addicted to Monster.
You know what? I think we both kind of got addicted there. Like, I was drinking them before. I had them on occasion, but then we were doing it all the time, so I got, like, accustomed
Yeah,
to...
we would stay there, like, we would stay at the school, like, once a week in order to get some extra time studying and doing homework and all that. But, we would go and, just go across the street to the convenience store and just buy a Monster, all the time. And there would be sometimes I didn't have cash, and you'd get 2 Monsters for us to split, and then I'd pay you back by getting both the next time. And I think we had like 50 Monsters that year.
Yeah, I don't know how we managed that, actually, because I had this little scheme going with my parents where I'd kind of cheat them out of their money. They'd give me a certain amount of money for lunch every day, and I would go, like, bare minimum, just so I could buy Monsters.
Yeah, well, the thing was that my parents were the exact opposite. I was given $20 a week, and I had to make it last. So, of course, on Friday I'd be, like, doing nothing. But I didn't really mind that much, and I actually made myself a pretty penny by not eating that much, because I could go as low as, like, $3 for food a day.
I think that's why I started to slim out in high school, to be honest with you.
I don't know how I got fat.
No, I've just always been, like, slightly big.
I remember how I got fat.
Skinny.
I remember how I got fat.
How'd you get fat?
Lemon poppy seed muffins.
Fuck, oh my god, I'm surprised with as many of those as I ate that I didn't get fat, because I love those.
I would have those at, like, every lunch that I had enough money to get one. And
yes.
And then fucking Michelle Obama!
Oh my god.
She took my muffins!
It's time to stop, Michelle.
Bad girl.
Bad girl.
Bad girl.
Naughty. Okay, no, now it's getting dirty.
Please don't nuke us.
Don't nuke us.
Don't nuke us, okay?
Barry, please.
Please don't kill us. Obama, I don't really follow politics. You seem like a chill guy. Hope you do some stand-up.
You know, he's gonna bring napalm back just for us. Just because we were talking dirty to his wife.
He's gonna tie us up, stab us with meat hooks, have his daughters whip us, and then napalm us.
Yeah, you don't get near his girl.
Girls, there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Do you think his dog's still alive?
I don't know, and I don't.
I mean, I think he got that dog in office, but it's a fairly big dog. It might be dead.
Well, I don't know. It might have had heart failure.
I really hope not. It was a cute-looking dog. You know, he had Chewbacca come to his, like
Peter Mayhew?
Yeah. Like, he
Holy
came
shit.
there in full costume, and was just there for the party after he got sworn in.
Huh. Okay.
And, like, the thing was, I read about that in the news, and everyone seemed pissed. It's just like, President Obama blows shit ton of money on party. And I'm just like, guys, he just became president. It's awesome. He has money left over from the campaign. Let him party, guys.
You know, he's got to get himself in the mood to get into the groove.
Yeah.
You know, and he
I got
party hard. Party hard.
He should have had Andrew WK there.
You need to party hard.
What the
ASMR. Fucking no, seriously, ASMR is such a joke, but like,
yeah.
And every time
I have an idea. Hey, all you ladies out there, do you like my cracky voice? Oh yeah, right there. I bet your panties are so wet. Even you guys, who are inexplicably wearing panties and have vaginas. This has gotten weird. I'm not gonna lie, this has definitely gotten weird. Maybe... Can you stop adjusting the radio, you prick?
No.
Oh my god. Anyway, guys. So this video has run a little long. We were aiming for 10 minutes.
And we got 24.
25.
Almost 25.
25. So, our Survey Monkey is still open for the length of our videos. This is about the rambling we got going, and I think, honestly, a longer video format would probably be better. I mean, it gets us to just improvise. So, to all of our monocats...
fucking suck.
Fuck
Kill
you.
yourself.
Well, anyway, speaking to all our monocats, I hope you're so wet right now. Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck. Fuck off, you fucking cunts!
Coming.